We don't really need a crowd to have a party.
Really?
Depends
Is that so?
Depends on the kind of party you're throwing. You're listening to Deviled Tongue.
And Phantom Other.
On Spreaker.com. www.spreaker.com. Thank you for your support. Please continue to support and follow us on Spreaker, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Skype. You can email us deviled.tongue@gmail.com. And Phantom always wants me to mention words of friends as well.
You don't have to, okay? You really don't have to.
But I'm out there. I, us, we, America. Take it from two writers. Take it from a writer who has won an ASCAP Lester Sill Songwriting Award. There's more of a certificate. Take it from, two writers who are very creative and learned the back in the day style. Shock value works, but I like to build up to the suspense, not just throw it in your face.
Wow, shock value.
Well, think about it. These are what we learned coming up, in, English 101, writing 101. And there's plenty of books out here that will guide you to writing that killer script or book. But what really, really makes good writing? What will, should we say, motivate you to watch that show, that series, pick up that book, go see that movie?
You know what's funny when you said that? It reminded me from a line of a movie. When you said, what makes it big? And the guy says, when your character dies. That's what makes a good story. And it was funny when it was said. I was like, oh my goodness. He was, when they say that. And there is some truth to that. When your character dies, if that person carried you through the whole story and then at the end they die tragically, that's really messed up.
Yeah, but that's not always the case.
No, it's not. Because you know what it is? I get it. We all want to live or always have a beautiful, ending of a story.
Right.
And sometimes it's just tragic. And sometimes when it's tragic, it's even better. I know I sound a little bit morbid right now because I like being that. I like it sometimes when the person just gets it in the end. Good or bad. I like the bad when sometimes the person gets it in the end.
I hope my definition is on point. The antagonist or the protagonist?
Well, it's funny. The antagonist, I thought, is the good person, and the protagonist is the bad person.
Okay. The antagonist does not always have to die.
Right.
But
and usually the protagonist always tends to live sometime, somehow. And usually there's always a part 2 to the book because the protagonist is still alive.
Well, okay. One of the hashtags is EGOT. And shout out to John Legend, who just became one. Now, EGOT stands for, in the exact order of the letters, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Emmy is for television. Grammy, of course, is music. Oscar is motion picture. And Tony Award is Broadway.
Theater.
Still theater.
Right.
I'm going to say it's no easy feat to win in all 4 mediums.
No, but what it tells you is that, Whoopi Goldberg is also in that category.
Yes.
All right? And that means that you're in a profession that you have expanded through all medias. And I'm not saying, I don't know if that's considered a media, but all facets.
Okay.
Okay? You've made it through film. You made it on Broadway. You made it in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? And you made it, I forgot what the last one is that I'm missing. But you're able to cross over all 3 lines, or 4 lines. You're able to cross over all 4 lines to do that. And that's impressive. That means that you really, love your job. You really hustle to do what you do. That means that you are recognized. And that meant that you was able to, I don't want to use the word morph, but you was able to fit into those pegs, moving into those other facets. Meaning that you wasn't a square block going into each and one of those categories. That meant that you had to change a little bit, but you didn't really actually change yourself.
I hope I don't have it backwards.
Go ahead.
It's usually easier to transition from music into acting, not so much acting into music, because not every actor can sing.
True. That's true, but that's why Whoopi Goldberg didn't win an Oscar. No, she won an Oscar for Ghost, but she won a Tony. I forgot what she won a Tony for, but I thought it was for her own stand-up special. That's what I thought she wanted. So she wasn't actually singing or anything like that. She was actually being a comedian, but she was doing it on Broadway, like her own stand-up show, and she got a Tony for that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that she wanted for a musical. She wanted for her own, like what she does. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, like, I don't think she does, other than, Sister Act, I don't think she does musicals. You know what I'm saying? Usually she does, like, one-women shows, or she does a show where, she's doing something comedic or something like that. So I'm saying that from that aspect, that's where she got it from. I'm assuming that's where I think she got the Tony from.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but even Hillary Clinton, former female presidential elect, she also has a Grammy.
That was weird when I heard that.
Mm-hmm. And that Grammy was awarded to her for a spoken word audio book that she had written. I forget the year, but if you don't believe me, Google it.
That's weird that you even get it for, what do you call it, books on tape. Like, you getting awards for books on tape.
Well, it's still audio. That's the reason why. People think that Grammy is just singing, period.
That's what I thought. And then writing, producing.
Right.
That aspect of it. But I didn't think, you reading somebody on tape was a part of that. I didn't even think about that.
You have the sub-branches or subcategories because, mind you, I still want to turn anti-drug matter, #ADM, or #anti-drug matter, into an audio book. Now, you can do it the easy way or the hard way.
You do it?
No.
Do it, or you get somebody famous to do it.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Go ahead.
Meaning that, okay, for those of you who remember the Eurythmics, when they came out, mind you, they had a little 4-track, tape recording of Sweet Dreams. And very simple production. But now everything is like, 24-track studio, 48-track studio, whatever. And all this elaborate instrumentation. You know what? If you know what you're doing and you're good, you can make a 4-track demo tape sound like it was done in a 48-track studio. And pretty much that's what I'm getting at. You can, now that technology has gotten better, record something on, let's say, your home computer, possibly your phone, and people swear that you went to a professional voiceover studio. Is it better to use a professional studio? I'm going to step out on faith as well as caution and say yes it is. Only because of the quality, the enhancements, the filters, etc., etc., etc. But it's just like GoPro versus, say, an iPhone. If your video is crisp, it has clarity, and you did it all on an iPhone, because now iPhones, you can make full movies, I think. Did you really need to spend all the money you spent on a GoPro?
Well, the GoPro is a little bit different.
Right.
The way I look at a GoPro is like you can connect that to your head and you go out there and do that. I don't think you're connecting your phone to your head.
No, you're not.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a little bit different. But to go back a little bit, what you was talking about, about the whole 8-track and, all that, I said that's why you got a lot of people who can't sing.
Right.
Because now, when back then when you only had the 4-track, you had to have the vocals to go down with that because you can't cover that. There's no way for you to cover that. Now, you could go into, like you said, a 48-track studio and make her sound like she's Celine Dion.
Right.
But when you hear her off the track, she's the worst thing ever. Case in point, that was an episode on Love and Hip Hop recently. But yes. But you know what I'm saying? That what bugs me out. You know, you can't sing for beans, but yo, you lay down some electronics and put some digital onto that, boom, you're like the best singer ever.
But isn't singing sort of a state of mind / opinion? I'm going to give you a good example. Pete Seeger, and I'm not sure if he's the artist. If I have the wrong artist, excuse me, America and speaker audience. Who made the theme from the Wonder Years?
What would I do if I sang out of tune?
Was that Pete Seeger?
I don't know.
Okay. But was his voice, did it draw you in? Did it make you listen?
No.
Or did you change the station?
No. You have to understand also, he's a type of genre music. So when you listen to like bluegrass and stuff like that, they sing it in a certain tone of voice that you'll say to yourself, why he singing sounding like so, you know, crazy and dry? But that's the way they sound.
By the way, that's Joe Cocker.
Right. But that's the way they sound. When you look at old artists from back then, they had a certain tune, tone, whatever. It's like that's the same song. I Get High with a Little Help with My Friends. No, that's the Beatles. But I'm just saying that because I was just thinking of like songs where when you hear them and they sing in their natural raspy voice, but they're singing in a certain genre with just a guitar. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about rapping, singing R&B, singing pop, you know what I'm saying? That's totally different. You gotta sound like, you gotta move the crowd. You gotta sound like you're excited. Your voice have to have a certain sweetness to it that you're moving the crowd with. And guess what? Bluegrass is not gonna be doing it. Okay? That type of blues and that type of like country singing, you know, they can sing in their natural voice and it goes. You know what I'm saying? But when you're trying to sing high pitch, trying to sing stuff that's popular, you know what I'm saying? Your voice is cracking. It doesn't work for that.
I'm trying to think, because there's plenty of singers, mind you, whose voice
are enhanced.
I'm sorry, who?
That are enhanced.
Right. You know, you wouldn't necessarily listen to them because, well, quite frankly, you just can't stand the way they sing.
There's like certain people who sound like, it's funny when you listen to like the Two-Pain, I call it the Two-Pain effect. It's like everybody sound auto-tune.
Right.
And it's cool. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're going for, that's cool. Like, I like it when Snoop Dogg did it with Sexual Attraction. It was like some song he sung, and I thought it was pretty cool, and the whole thing was automated. And it was cool, because that's what he was going for. So we know Snoop Dogg don't sound like that, but that was the sound he was going for. And I'm cool with that. But when your whole album is that, and unless you're Two-Pain, that's your gimmick. You know what I'm saying? That's your gimmick.
What about Daft Punk?
That's their gimmick.
Right.
It's just like the Gorillaz. You don't see them. They don't perform as a group. Like, you don't see them. That's their gimmick. You know what I'm saying? It's the same as Daft Punk. Daft Punk, whatever.
Daft.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm jacking up your name, but that's the same thing. The whole point is you don't see them. It's all about the music. It's not about the image.
Right.
It's the same thing with the Gorillaz. It's about the music. It's not about the image.
Of course.
So, you know, if you're going to a Gorilla concert, you might not see nobody. You know what I'm saying? It might be just all cartoons. Don't get mad. All right? But really, tell you the truth, I've seen a Gorilla concert on television.
Feels good.
And they do actually perform. And they do have the cartoons in the back, you know, doing it. But they actually do have the live performers. But their whole thing is not about the performing. It's about it's about the product. And the product is you're able to bring people together to sing music of different genres, to have a song, and to be like, hey, you know, just because we're you know, they have Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack is what? soul music. But they did a song with Bobby Womack. What they're saying to you is, yo, it's about the music. It is not about the genre. It's about the product. You know,
like,
we're able to pull from different areas and different genres to come together and to make music.
Just like
That's all.
Pentatonics. I love the way they harmonize, I'll say.
Right.
You know, would it work if Pentatonics was a bunch of elderly men? Maybe.
Or a barbershop quartet? Maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying, you know, those are things that you have to, you know, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
It is.
You know, and what they're doing is that it's not really experimental, but it is sort of.
Right.
You know, because when the Gorillaz brought in Bobby Womack, I was like, what? I was like, get out of here. But when I heard the smash, you know, or whatever you call it, when you put it together, I was like, yo, this song is hot.
You know what? We gotta go. We got way off topic as far as edgy writing.
I know.
But
like we said, we're all over the place.
Yep. So thank you for tuning in to
Thank you.
Devil
We
Talking
appreciate
Phantom
it.
Over again. Talk to you another time.
Till the next episode.